Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Diksha. In today's video, we are diving deep into learning one of the most famous or celebrated poems in English literature, that is The Road Not Taken, written by the renowned poet Robert Frost. So if you are a student preparing for your exam, you are simply an English literature enthusiast, or you are someone who just loves poetry, I'm sure this video is going to help you to learn the meaning of this poetry, the themes displayed in this poem, and the literary devices used in this iconic poem by the poet Robert Frost. So without any further delay, grab your notes, let's begin. So before starting with the poem, let's learn a little about the poet himself. So Robert Frost was an American poet. He was born in the year 1874. He was known for his simple yet profound poetry, often inspired by nature and rural life. His poetry often explores the themes of nature, choices, isolation, and the complexities of human emotions. He received 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry, making him one of the most distinguished poets in American literature. The Road Not Taken was published in the year 1916 in his collection Mountain Interval. It is a simple narrative poem of 20 lines, 4 stanzas, 5 lines each. Rhyme scheme is AB, AAB, and the meter followed is iambic tetrameter. Let me just read the poem to you. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Here again, as usual, in most of the poems of Robert Frost, he talks about a very common sight, that is fogged road. A road which at a certain point divides itself into 2. And why is it a common sight? Because most of us, you and I, in our lives, at some point or the other, must have stood at this point where there were 2 choices offered to us, and we had to make one choice out of them, either this one or that one. And we have definitely at least once stood there at that point, at the junction of that fogged road, and wondered which choice would be better for us to make. Which road should I take further ahead that will lead me to success? So in the first stanza, 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood. Here yellow wood refers to nothing but the season of autumn. Wood refers to forest, a forest where the leaves of the trees have turned yellow, which signifies autumn season. So the speaker is walking through this forest in the season of autumn, where he reaches a point. The road is bifurcating into 2 diverged roads, and he looks down as far as he could, and he feels sorry that he cannot travel both the roads at the same time, being one single traveler, because that is not possible. He has to make a choice between either this one or that one. So he's wondering which choice would be better for him. So we can see the poet has utilized various literary devices in this poem. 2 roads diverge, 2 diverged roads is a metaphor used by the poet here that symbolizes life's choices. It represents the problem of decision making. Another literary device he uses here is yellow wood that creates a vivid picture of autumn season. So he looked down one road as far as he could until it disappeared from his side. The road started disappearing from his side because he looked as far as he could, and he cannot decide where that road is leading him, will lead him to. So then he took the other. He's looking at one road and then the other. So after looking at the other road, he realized that it had a better claim, then took the other as just as fair and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear. So according to the poet, the other road seemed like it was having a better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear. Wanted wear refers to as if it was traveled not by so many people so far. So he thought as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. It looked almost the same, but the other road looked better because it looked like as if it was not traveled by so many people before. So he finally looks like coming to a decision that he's going for the other road. Here the poet again has made use of another literary device, that is personification by the word wanted where. So as if the road that he is going to choose had a better claim because it wanted to be won, it wanted to be walked by, as if it has some hidden desire in it that the road has not been traveled by so far. So it had a hidden desire that someone should travel this road now. Now in the third stanza, the poet says, and both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. So it's clear that it was a morning. It was an early morning as far as we understand, because both the roads were covered with leaves that had just fallen the night before. Nobody have walked over them. So he says, in leaves no step had trodden black. So you know, when you apply pressure on leaves, when you walk over them, when you stamp on leaves, they change color. The yellow leaves turns black. So the poet says no one seems to have walked them before me, at least this morning, because the leaves are still fresh and yellow. So the poet decides that he will take this road that is less traveled by, and he will keep the first one for some other day, for another day, that he will come back and see where that road will take him to. But in his heart of hearts, he knows that he would probably not come back, because way leads on to way. He says, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. In life, there is hardly a comeback, because it's not like you are going for a morning walk, you explore that road, you come back home in the evening. Next day, you take another road, you explore that road as well, and you come back home in the evening. Once you have chosen your best option, you take the risk associated with it, knowing that you may never come back to the point from where you started in the beginning. So there is a high possibility that the road that you have chosen in the beginning, that will lead you to some other way, some other road, and that road will birth some new dreams inside you, that will take you to some other road, and there is a remote possibility that you will ever come back to the point from where you started. So in this stanza, we see the poet uses repetition as a literary device. Way leads on to way, that emphasizes how one decision leads to another and make it almost unlikely for us to go back. Here the poet also uses foreshadowing, that he already senses that he might never get a chance to go back and take the other road and travel. So we move on to the next stanza. I'll read it to you. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. What does the poet wants to say by this? So he says that I might be, who knows, after many years, I might say this with a sigh. Now, this sigh can symbolize his regret, or this sigh can be a happy sigh. It is left open for interpretation. So, many years later, I might say this to my children or my grandchildren, that once upon a time I stood in a wood where a road diverged into two bifurcated roads, and I took the road that was less traveled by, that was not traveled by many people. So the choice that he made, it has taken him to the place where he now is in, and he might say this with a sigh. If you interpret it as a happy sigh, then you can say that he has succeeded in his life. He was right choosing that road, and he went the right way. It led him out to success. And if you think it as a sad sigh, as a disappointed one, then it means that his choice was wrong, and the road led him to one trouble after another, and he failed in his mission. So, whatever the choice he made that day, it has made all the difference today. So, he's might be appreciating, he might be saying this with a happy sigh or with regret, that is left open for your interpretation. So that's a wrap on today's analysis of the poem The Road Not Taken. I hope this breakdown helped you understand the poem's depth and the emotions and thoughts behind Robert Frost's words. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell so that you never miss out on our literature lessons. Also, let me know in the comment section what do you think the poem's message is. Is it about making bold choices, or is it about the unpredictability or the uncertainty of life? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep exploring and keep learning. Thank you so much. Bye bye.